Welcome, everybody. This is Enlightened Masculinity. I'm your host, Yogi Chris, PhD, and I'm talking about the difference between men and women. Now, any person that listens to this information is going to be benefited, and you must find how to benefit it in your life. Okay, but we'll go for that. So, her efforts to retain you, let's say, we'll get right into it. This is all synopsis from Evolution of Desire. You can go ahead and read the book. Good luck to you. I have a PhD for a reason, so I thought this is a value to synthesize for you. That's what the last string of episodes have been. The last like 10 or 11 episodes have been synopses of different parts of Evolution of Desire. The book is organized into like 11 or 12 chapters or something. It's a lot of data, a lot of statistics, some storyline to it about men and women and this and that. And so I glean powerful statements that stand out to me and filter it through my filtration process. And sprinkle in some AZD, IMC, and my own personal experience. Because I would venture a guess that I've had more relationship and more experience with women than the authors of those books. Maybe. I don't know. They could be player academics. I don't know too many rock star academics. I never really saw that, actually. Although I tried to be that, and I kind of sort of was that, but I had to leave the establishment because it's really socialist feminist. So it obviously is against a macho kind of guy, carving his way like that. Everywhere is, but that in particular, got to find your own way. That's why I'm an entrepreneur now. So this is some summary of notes that I think go together, and we'll just go right into it, right? So this first note I have, which is in fact that, and it's statistically verified, that women are more, they don't fight to keep her man because he's older or younger or more handsome or less handsome. They fight to keep him because of how much survival they depend on from him. That what does he represent to her, especially compared to her next best chance? A lot of what women do out in the mating marketplace isn't to get with guys. Very, very few women are trying to get with guys, but there is almost constantly a subconscious assessment of her own value in the mating market by what she can get guys to do. And how valuable those guys are, the more valuable they are, the more valuable is anything she can get them to do. Maybe you can get a lonely, poor man to do a lot, but a wealthy, intelligent man can't move him. So somewhere in there, or anywhere from top to bottom, who knows? The answer to force is seduction. So her ability to yin and bend his force, that's the yin yang, because he represents force. And he is in charge of force. If he's leading men, then he has a militia. He has force. Now, how much force do you have? There's your survival value. That's a part of it. That's one way to look at it. I mean, you might be in an environment there's other ways to have survival value. Money represents survival value, but that woman will still cheat on him with a man that demonstrates other qualities. So that's not the whole picture. And a woman doesn't really cheat on a let's say an attractive man, a man that's desirable that other women want. She's not going to cheat on him with a wealthy man unless she's looking to mate switch. She's not cheating on the player guy to get with the rich guy to get the rich guy's genes. She's not gening up on that and going back and getting the desirable man to take care of the son. If anything, she'd do the other way around and get knocked up by the guy that all the women desire and break up with him and go and be with the second guy she was stringing along on the side, convince him it's his and get him to take care of it. The different strategy. Women that cheat, they're cheating most of the time for emotional motives and possibly to switch mates. Men are cheating because they want variety and they want to keep their mate, actually. And if they didn't think they would lose their mate, they wouldn't hide that they were trying to cheat. And so they're starting off their relationships on lies by communicating and subcommunicating, but especially you can only fault them for their communication. Their subcommunication they may not be aware of. And that's where you need training and to stay consistent in a line of philosophy for some time. So you start to see where you're really erring against it. But, he's communicating, it's only you, baby. It's me and you. And that is, when people say outdated, that's outdated. Because it doesn't date with the times. There's too much variety. There's too many options. There's too much chaos in the lives of men and women that there's really no loyalty. And so what's the point of it's just me and you against the world, baby? Unless you're going to come work for me, work with me, travel with me, be with me, do what I tell you, follow me, this and that. What's the point of it's me and you, baby? Because there's no loyalty here. You're going to leave me when you are disappointed and there's another offer on the table from someone else. And if you're not vigilantly getting rid of guys, they're all around you. Help waiting. And if I'm not vigilant, you're not going to get rid of them because it's to your benefit to have them around. It's good for you to have a safety net. The problem is when a man steps up and says, actually, if you have a safety net, then what am I going to care about you? You got a safety net. When you're around me, then you're my responsibility. But you don't have to be around me, and I'm not going to take any shit from you. So you can go give shit to other guys and come around when you're not giving shit. And let's get back on to the thing here. So the thing that she does to retain, now he will retain, he fights to keep her. Age does matter. Aesthetics does matter, how hard he fights to keep her. There's a difference. There's what's called replication value, whatever you want to call it. It's something other than survival value. Her feminine value, her divine female value. The divine female is without value. It's infinite value. Okay, well, she's got more infinite because infinite is infinite, but you can go to infinity faster, sooner. Infinity squared is bigger than infinity. It's a fact. It's a fact that men remarry more often than women. That it's more difficult for a woman to remarry after divorce. Now, she secured a commitment from him while her value was high, and he supplicated and submitted and signed over his testicles so that he would have exclusive access to that vagina forever and ever till death do us part. And of course, the nagging started, the unsatisfaction happened. He felt low about himself because he had cut off all other women and wasn't talking to anybody except her. And she's negative. She's negative, yin, dark, destructive, passive aggressive, manipulative. And so when he feels down about himself, he never ever treats her right. And so she feels down about herself, starts not taking care of herself, which loses more attraction in him, and sex gets less frequent and less satisfying and blah, blah, blah. And then the divorce. Now she's past the prime of her mating. He maybe is still on an upward climb. Now he may have fallen out of the social matrix so far that, God, if he's ever going to make it back into the game and really be able to communicate with women, he may have strayed so far from, grounded communication that can still be fantastic and intelligent and blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't have reality with the women he's trying to game. So he's got to find those women. So he goes there, and then how far is he going to go in this game? Because there's 10 billion people or whatever the fuck. There's a whole matrix out there of a lot of people that know each other, different spheres that overlap. And you can navigate this thing wherever you want to go with the right words said to the right people at the right time. When you control your communication, regardless of your feelings, when you hear what's not being said, but what's being felt, what's being communicated. When you are able to insert order where there was chaos, or replace chaos with order, or create order from chaos, bring order to chaos, to reduce uncertainty, make things more clear, make visible what's invisible in your favor and for truth, because the world could be built on truth. Bridges are built on the truth of how to build bridges, not the falsehood. You can't build your life on falsehood. You could, well, okay, you can, but it's like smashing a bunch of toothpicks and glue together, and it's not going to hold much. Okay, married men want extramarital affairs, whether they're happy or not. They want them just the same. If they report, I'm happy in my marriage, do you want sex with another woman? Yes, no. Are you happy in your marriage? No. Do you want sex with another woman? Yes, no. It was equal. You couldn't tell the difference. It didn't matter if they were happy or not. They want other women. Women, on the other hand, they wanted an affair when they were unhappy. And that's it. When they were happy, they didn't want an affair. Women are monogamous by nature when they're fulfilled. When men are fulfilled, they still want more, because that's their design. It's literally your design different. You have different machinery and a mind and every chemistry and everything that goes along with it. You're different. Okay. And men want more extramarital affairs, and they want it whether they're happy or not. And they want it throughout their entire life. They never stop wanting it. In every age category, men want more sex partners than women. So yeah, what ends up happening in modern society, this is a personal thought, what the science is that when there's less mating prospects for men, they will work harder. So when there's less available women, men work harder. The same goes for women. When there's less prospective men, women work harder. And so what's happened, because men know the reality, I think every man deep down knows. That's why they even joke about it. It's just so pathetic that that's their joke and they don't have a solution. It's so fucking weak that every man knows that, that's the beginning of the end when you get married. Like, marriage doesn't work. Monogamy doesn't work. Every man knows it's not going to work. What is he really hoping for? Any man who's had any exposure to the outside world, outside of his fucking Amish community, would know that it's just not going to work, man. Everybody's joking about it. You're not seeing anybody that's happy with it. It's just ridiculous. So he's seeing that prospect. Now, he can't be with multiple women because it's not his reality. And when he tries, he has to lie or cheat, and which he will do, or he'll become defeated and become very weak. And it's weak to lie, but it's even arguably weaker. At least he's probably still a protector. He probably still can stand up and protect what's his. Maybe, who knows? I see him as a little bit stronger than the guy that just goes completely defeated and passive. And oh man, there was something really good there. I was going marriage. So the guys, they know, and they've given up. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to navigate this thing. And so they kind of sort of surrender to monogamy, but then also play this open game. And then they tell the women that, you could be open too, because and it's so lame. That's so equivalent to women. It's very unsafe for women, very unsafe for children. And it lacks ethics and awareness of what's happening on planet Earth right now. So it's a lack of responsibility. It's an immaturity of men, because they've been uneducated or miseducated on their role as a man. And meanwhile, women have been encouraged to work hard, and the dating prospects for women to be satisfied is very low, because so much variety is available to them. They now work, so they don't have to depend on men. So they don't look up with googly eyes to a man that will take care of them off of their father. They look up the success ladder of their career with googly eyes, and they get married to their career trying to find happiness there, but that's not going to do it. Oh my God. Ask me how miserable every girl that's been with me and is no longer with me is. They've all reached out and they're all miserable. More than you know, from before even you knew me, before the girls I've had with IMC. Every one. I know this. I know that my stock is going up. And that's not what happens on this planet to the female of our species. That's what happens to the male of our species on this planet. We are different. So men, they commit, and that's how they secure loyalty from a woman, is through commitment. And they get the highest value woman they can when they can, and not realizing that their stock's going up, her stock is just peaking. So she secures that male investment and then milks him for the rest of his life until she can't put up with it anymore, or she has a better option, or whatever. He gets violent or aggressive. There's things that can happen too. And so they'll separate. Now, he may be so atrophied in his social skills that he doesn't have a hope, but he'll find somebody because he's got money. His career, he keeps going. Now, keep in mind that men commit more suicide. Men go to prison more. Men die on the job more, and they take more risky jobs. And there's a reason for that. At every age, men die more frequently than women. That from 18 to 26, a man is twice as likely to die as a woman of the same age. By an accident. So men take on risk, and men take on the psychological damage. That's what being a criminal, going to prison, or suicide is. Men do that to attract a mate of their choice. That's what they're going for. What men do is to attract a mate of their choice. We're all striving to get the mate of our choice. Maybe we're settled, maybe we're not, but the genetic eyeball is always looking. And every day you must earn it again and again and again and again. Yeah. So we are born, I'll end it with this. We are all born of women who chose men who were able to provide survival. They survived better than their offspring. Those their offspring survived better than their competitors' offspring because of who they chose as the father of those kids. The female genetic code is looking for a man that provides survival. In her assessment, now we have modern culture that can give her ideas and aspirations that are against her own nature, that would be contra survival, against her survival. So what she evaluates as survival value may not be. It's up to the man to educate and to have that primal level of attraction. Honestly, to have fulfilling relationships, you have to be quite a man, just so incredible of a man, to be able to attract on a primal level, to understand her warped perceptions about what her role is and what a man's role is in her life. To be emotionally sensitive and strong and courageous at the same time, and to have handled your own bullshit and brainwashing. It's no wonder women are attracted to older men. They've had more chance to sort this stuff out. We're born of women who chose men who provided better survival. So what attracts women? That's a genetic trigger, because that's the qualities that meant higher survival in the past. So as you get attracted, these qualities are survival qualities that are not money, because money is here, but money doesn't bring charisma necessarily. Money doesn't bring intelligence. Money doesn't bring sincerity, honesty, courage. I had these things written down. Where is it? I worked this thing out, actually. I'll reveal some of it to you right here, right now. Money doesn't bring respect. Money doesn't bring tranquility or genuine friendship. That's what I'll say right now. Now, I could have a lot more money now had I done something different with my life after my master's degree, after my PhD, even after my bachelor's, probably. But I went a different way because I'm building my life on truth, and I would be building what I knew was already a hollow existence that would just dissolve into the ether after I died, and all that I would be left with were the experiences that I could purchase with the money that I would make. And I found a better solution was the ability to create memorable experience through your own communication and what you can do with your own being, what's within your control, your response to life. So that's what I do. This is enlightened masculinity. I'm a monk here at Base One Temple, and this is the process and the art of living a flourishing life by handling and creating from what you can control and letting go of what you can't control, living on stoic principles, temperance, wisdom, and so on. Subscribe to this podcast where it is on the audio or the video, and go to ninthlimb.com for what I offer as far as yoga, and you'll see other episodes for this podcast there and everything. That's Ninth Limb with the number 9. You'll see the link in the description for this. I'll hang around for a second, answer any of the live questions. I think I'm still streaming to Facebook. And that's all I have for this right now. Tune in for the future, enlightened masculinity. A lot is coming and changes. The yoga retreat is coming up, all of that. You can find me on Instagram also at Yoga Bliss Chris. And I'll see you on the next one on the podcast.